Good afternoon, friends. Welcome to our fourth Qimpro webinar. The theme for this webinar is Strategic Quality Planning. Why this topic? If you are on the road to excellence, the three foundation categories are leadership, strategic quality planning, and customer focus. If you don't have them in place, you will not reach excellence. So what is strategic planning to start with? Strategic planning focuses on operations, on finance, on technology, and marketing. As you will note, the four are interdependent. Where is quality? Where is the customer? Quality is at the hub of this wheel. You can't have operations without quality. You can't get financial results without quality. You can't be sure of your technology if it didn't have quality built into the design. And you can't market your offering if it lacks quality. Quality is the hub, and I'd go one step further and say, how do you define quality? Quality is customer delight. Strategic quality planning, on the other hand, starts with a vision. The vision sets the direction and character of the organization. It's the reason people come to you. People want to work with you. It's the reason why people stay with you. It sets the image for customers. It sets the image for employees. And it's an inspiration for the organization, top down. A good vision must be customer focused. The customer must appear directly or indirectly in the good vision statement. A vision should be doable. Don't look for an impossible dream. On the other hand, don't look for a comfortable dream. There should be some stretch, but it should be doable. A good vision statement would be very compelling. In other words, it should bring fire in the belly of all the employees. It should be shared company-wide, by which I mean I must know how the work I do would help the organization accomplish its vision. Vision statements by themselves are little more than wish lists. But these wish lists can be made a reality. Examples of vision statements are: we aim to be the market leader in every country in which we do business by 2022. Now, I do recommend that you have a glossary to support all the key words in your vision statement. What do we mean by market leader? Is it number 1 or is it number 1, 2 or 3? In every country, are we talking of the major markets we service or literally every country in which we do business? Another example is we aim to be the lowest cost producer of electric cars by 2020. You will note that these statements are specific. They are observable. They are measurable. That is what makes a good vision statement. How do you articulate a vision? And when is a vision a good vision statement? In the first place, it must support the values of the organization. Values based on principles of life. The long-term plan is an output from the values and vision. The vision must have some resemblance or some interaction with the mission. Now, the terms mission and vision are often confused. I'd put it simply, mission of a missionary, vision of a visionary. The policies of the organization must also be taken into account. Policies are essentially guidelines that delight a customer. Mission, what business we are in. The reason for our existence. Why did these entrepreneurs or leaders come together to participate in a vision, in a business? Vision, desired future state of the organization. I'd like to add that future here is finite. It is finite to the extent that it's the collective leadership that has to lead you up to this vision. So I would give it 3 years, 5 years. Another point. When there is a change in the environment, what do you change? Your mission or your vision? In my experience, mission is a constant. It is the vision that needs to be updated. Values, principles to be observed to meet the vision, or principles to be served by meeting the vision. All organizations have values. Even terrorists have values. What's important is that they need to be based on principles. Policy. Policy is a commitment to your customer. Your policies attract customers. Your policy creates customer loyalty. Let's take an example. A mission of a transportation service company to provide pure, efficient, and timely delivery service to satisfy our customer needs. This happens to be a courier service. Vision. During the next decade, we want to become the best managed air delivery service in the world. In summary, strategic quality planning is a vision deployment exercise. Let me reinforce these concepts through a fable. Kargil. How many of you remember Kargil? Kargil happened in 1999. Kargil happened when the Pakistanis crossed the line of control and entered India, and they marched their way through a good gradient up to Tiger Hill, which was a cliff. The Pakistanis occupied Kargil. This was in the month of May 1999. While this was going on, we had the World Cup going on in England. Indians were cheering. Indians were ecstatic because the Prince of Kolkata, Saurav Ganguly, was actually performing and containing the competitors. Until they heard the news on radio, attack on Kargil. So the commander-in-chief was invited to deal with the problem, to deal with the situation. His objective, his vision was to restore the line of control. But what stood between the line of control and the commander-in-chief? Tiger Hill. Tiger Hill had a cliff on the Indian side and a gradient on the occupied side. Conquering Tiger Hill would enable the commander-in-chief to move forward. So he looked at his resources: Army, Navy, Air Force. His army could not ascend the cliff. It was of no use currently. The Navy was of little use in this landlocked situation. The Air Force could be useful if we could conduct a sortie in 30 seconds, which means fly in and out having bombarded the enemy. We did not have those aircraft. The commander-in-chief was also challenged by the fact that it starts snowing in August, which was only 6 to 8 weeks away. So he had a timeline in which to conquer the line of control. He set a strategic goal to capture Tiger Hill in 2 weeks. Now, what could he do when he didn't have the resources? He did some tactical planning. He leased aircraft from France that had the capability to enter Kargil, bomb, and be out in less than 30 seconds. Each sortie cost millions of dollars. The Indians conquered Kargil. Now started the journey to the line of control. Form Tiger Hill. At this point, the Commander-in-Chief prioritized his schedule. He set milestones that had to be conquered on a daily basis and on a weekly basis. The Indians captured Kargil in less than 6 weeks. Jai Hind. What are the lessons we've learned? There are 4 levels of planning: strategic, tactical, operational, and budgeting. A vision is the snapshot of what you wish to become in a defined period of time. Strategic planning is a vision deployment exercise. For strategic planning, we must schedule our priorities. However, in operational planning, we must prioritize our schedule. Leaders must take full accountability for planning. Execution can be deployed. So how do you carry all this to your organization? This entire vision deployment exercise. There are templates and templates. I will expose you to the first. You have a vision statement. A vision statement that's specific, observable, measurable, and achievable in a certain amount of time. The key strategies are your Tiger Hills. How are you going to capture these Tiger Hills in order to meet your long-term strategic objectives? And they've got to be deployed with strategy leaders. As an example, a Tiger Hill in your organization could be excessive cost of poor quality. Perhaps it is 1/3 your total cost. The key strategy would be, let us halve the cost of poor quality in a finite period of time. Where will this cost of poor quality be located or localized? Perhaps in the purchasing department. So we can set a long-term strategic objective with respect to the purchasing department and the practices followed by the purchasing department. It may also include maintenance, MTTR, mean time to repair. Can we halve the mean time to repair, the MTTR, for our earth-moving equipment, and so on? Each objective requires a strategy leader. If there is no ownership, you will not reach your vision. Who should the strategy leaders be? Senior managers, senior executives, right from the managing director downwards. An alternative may be where you look at cycle time. The cycle time is a good measure of quality. Your key strategy may be to halve the cycle time for key processes. The key processes in a hospital would be admissions. Another key process may be discharge. Halving them could unlock capacity. You need process owners. As you go further, there are about 5 other templates that you need to deploy. One is the strategic objectives deployment. The next is annual objectives as an action plan. The subsequent year objectives and the progress, the review made, measurement of objectives, measurement of process objectives. The key is measurement and making a thing compelling and achievable. With that, I conclude my webinar. I'm open for questions and answers. Okay, the first question is, why do you call it strategic quality planning and not simply strategic planning? I agree, we need only one term. The only condition being that you do have a focus on customers. Now, what comes first? Strategic planning or operational planning? Strategic planning is very dynamic and it should be reviewed and updated continuously. Operational planning, on the other hand, is more structured and deterministic. Another question that has been raised is, why do you call it Tiger Hill? Well, that's the best way I can make you remember that these are critical success factors. Any organization has Tiger Hills, I'm sure you'll agree. And you don't need to make a full Toby list of all your Tiger Hills. What you do need is about 5 Tiger Hills. A question from Naresh Chaudhary is, how crucial is sponsorship in driving strategic quality objectives? 110%. Unless you have the sponsorship that sits with you, sets the objective and reviews it, there will be no achievement of an objective. I guess we've run out of questions and some are being typed in simultaneously. What I will do is respond to your questions over the next couple of days. So please keep them coming, and I hope to be responding to them. The next webinar will be on customer focus. Customer focus is a companion to strategic quality planning. It's a companion to leadership. These three form the foundation for a good infrastructure in a organization that is pursuing excellence. Thank you all for your time. I look forward to your registrations for customer focus.